Hi everyone, very good evening to all of you. I'm Dipankar Mukherjee, the founder of Readomania Publishing. We publish books, specifically called trade books, in fiction, non-fiction, and children's fiction genre. Um, Jacinta, my friend, got back to me a couple of weeks ago, and we discussed and we thought that we'll create a video around various facets of creative writing, and that's how I am here talking about creative writing. So I'll be making a few short videos, each encompassing a part of it. And in the first one, which is this, we will be talking about what is creative writing and what are the forms of creative writing. And once somebody has done creative writing, what do you do with it, right? So let's begin with what is creative writing. Uh, I'll take a step back and we'll discuss with what's the history of this writing. So we all know that earlier the traditions were very oral. So all stories were told orally, passed on over generations. Writing happened maybe 3,000, 2,000 years ago. So that's when the whole idea of record keeping started. Okay, and then people got to the habit of started writing stories. Whatever they heard, they narrated. Those stories came out. We all know the earlier ones in the world were coming from the Greeks and from Indians. So you have the Sanskrit Vedas coming up. You had the earlier scriptures in India coming out. You had Homer's Odyssey and so on and so forth coming out. So those are the earlier forms of literature that came out. So that's when it started and progressed and came to a point where we can think about the first modern novel, so to say, which is Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. It's a very interesting book written around 1300, which is about these set of pilgrims, stories about them who are making a pilgrimage. A very interesting concept there. So that's when the modern history started of novels. From there till where we are now, it's taken a long, long way and been here. Now coming to what exactly is creative writing. Anything that is a form of expression, is something that you or as a person, whoever is trying to pull out, is giving out a voice to their inner emotions, feelings, or is narrating incidents in a way which is not real but imaginary, or real but with a twist and turn over here, becomes creative writing. So anything which you are writing from your own mind, from your own heart, is creative writing. It's a form of expression. Okay? And the outcomes, if you look at it, you can have multiple things, which includes prose, poetry, speeches, letters, memoirs, graphs, monographs, and so on and so forth. So you have a long list of things that are called creative writing, which are the outputs that we come out with when we talk about creative writing. Okay? As a process, it's a very, very long, drawn, interesting, immersive process in which we go back to our own self, on our being, and go back to our background, go back to what we are as a person, our values, our emotions, and pull all of it out and bring it on paper, either in form of a story or in form of a simple essay, which is a reflection, or anything else that can engage the reader in a way which is entertaining. Yes, entertaining is very important because anything which is creative should be also a form of entertainment for somebody else. Now, whether a simple emotional tale is entertaining, or something which is more crime and criminal based is entertaining, or a simple essay or a non-fiction book is entertaining, depends on the reader or the consumer. Okay, as an author, every author has their own way of writing, way of telling stories, or way of narrating, expressing. That itself becomes their creative process. So that's what we talk about is creative writing and how that happens and what happens with the output. Okay. Now let's say you have written down these things. You've written an essay or a poem or a story. What do you do with it? What do creative writing people do with the content that they generate? At the end of the day, this is all content, right? You're creating a story, probably a poem, anything else. So there are multiple ways in which you can use this content. Okay, let's begin with the simplest and the most well-known format, which is you can create a book out of it. So if you have sufficient number of stories or a single long story or a number of essays, you can put them together in the form of a book, get it published, and put it out for your readers. That's number one. If not that, you could actually create a blog out of it. So we all know that today on internet, anybody can go and create an online blog. Okay, a blog is a website which is basically your own website where you can put any content that you like. So all that you write, your stories, your poetry, your essays, your observations, your non-fiction day-to-day elements, everything can go into that blog. Okay? And that blog becomes your window to reach out the entire world and your readers. That's the second thing that you can do with stories. Third thing, put them up on social media. Okay? You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter. Depending on the number of words that you've written, you can put them up on any platform. Okay? And all these platforms can then give you readers, or so to say, people who start liking your content and loving your content and become your fans. So these are the three main things that you can do out, of which books typically end up becoming a source of revenue for a lot of people if and when they become big and famous. The other two may not be as as rewarding. Social media, you don't get any money at all. In your blog, if you're able to do a lot of content, then you may be able to get some money out of it. Okay, this is another format where you can do. Okay, which is a very well paying format, which is you can connect with magazines, your newspapers, and send them your content. If they like it, they start putting up that content. You could write a column for them. You could have a regular story for them. You could have an episodal story for them. You could have poems for them. There are various magazines, online and physical, who take this content, and you could approach them to take care of your content. So once you've written, you could do these methods to start putting your content out there for people. So that's what is a small nugget of wisdom I had for what is creative writing and how you can use it for your benefit, or what do you do with the content that you generate. Okay, in the next video that I'll talk about what are the elements of creative writing. Okay, there are 4 elements. We'll discuss about them in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.